Awesome. We're back for another episode of AMA. We're not even going to say this at this point anymore what it's not, because it isn't that. So it's pointless to even keep talking about it. But we have a very special guest today. It's JeromeASF. Now, welcome to the show, first of all.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Very nice to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
So okay, first of all, we're going in dry on this whole thing.
Oh, God.
3.4 million subscribers on YouTube. Incredible, first of all. We got to get this out of the way. Is it JeromeASF or is it JeromeASF? Like, because the first thing we saw when we saw ASF was this guy's name is JeromeASF. Has anyone ever called you JeromeASF?
Funny enough, I didn't even realize it at the time because that wasn't like a popular, I guess, acronym for it when it first came out. But really, it's just a shortened form of my old channel, Awesome Sauce Films.
Yeah, okay.
And now I'm slowly regretting it as that acronym is
it works. I think it works out well.
Pretty cool, regardless.
I mean, I like it.
Exactly.
I like it. But yeah.
All right, so you mainly do, as far as I've seen on there, you mainly do Minecraft. I guess the older channel had some other stuff on it, some COD.
Yeah, it's COD, Halo. Any kind of shooter game, really, the old channel, and this is just straight Minecraft.
Okay, really awesome. So yeah, you also have shows that include Minecraft mod battles, prank wars, face cam games, and then just Minecraft aside from that. So like, explain, like, if someone out there that watches our channel who isn't for some reason subscribed to yours, which I'm sure that there's tons of overlap, what do they see when they go to your channel? Pretty
much what we'll just end up doing is usually it'll be a group of us. I mean, depends who I'm recording with at the time, usually 4 or 5 of us. We'll just sit around and go, all right, what can we record that's completely random, completely insane, that we can just make hilarious and that people will enjoy? And we go from there, and usually, I mean, you can find anything Minecraft based on my channel, from even in the old days, I used to do map reviews, to mod showcases, to just mini games that like me and my friends will play against each other. And overall, you just find a lot of content of friends all having fun, gaming against each other, screaming and yelling, and yeah, trying to kill each other.
Yeah. What would you say the funnest, most interesting thing you've done on your channel recently has been?
Recently, I've liked kind of expanding actually out of the entire video game sphere as a whole and doing some real life videos. So I did one that was just, it was called A Day in the Life of Jerome, and I dressed up, I had a full entire Minecraft suit made for me, just custom made. It was cardboard, everything, had my entire skin on it, and I just went around to like local stores and stuff and walked inside and was just buying stuff.
So is it the Minecraft skin that you use in games? You look like a Wookiee or something like that. I've seen it described as.
Yeah, people would call it that. It's shortened to Baka, but pretty much it's just like a fuzzy animal in a business suit. I just kind of picked something really random. And
so you're taking the video game world into the real world and seeing how people react to it, basically.
Yeah, so just kind of expanding out. That was definitely the most fun thing I've done recently on the channel.
And you're friends with a good friend of mine, XRPMX, the incredibly good-looking gamer. Hi, Ryan.
Ryan, he goes by a lot of nicknames. The Godfather, incredibly good-looking gamer.
All nicknames that I'm sure he made up himself.
He actually has. His latest one's the Milkman.
He just, that's what I want to be called now. He's one of the most ridiculous human beings ever.
He's actually insane, yeah.
So let's get on to the questions here. These we obviously, if you're just watching this AMA for the first time, we make a post on our subreddit, which is r/etc show.
Oh, and one thing before we start.
Okay.
I was never told which camera was.
You're just looking at whatever.
I was gonna say
this is a wide shot.
This is the wide,
and then that's your close up.
We're leaving this whole thing in too,
like a laptop.
by the way. No, it's that has a special use. We don't want to bring the facade down too much of the production.
We put a teleprompter and it
Shut up!
back to us.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. So that, all right.
Yeah. So on our subreddit, we post who the guest's going to be and then ask the fans and to ask questions. And you were nice enough to tweet it out, so we have some questions specifically for you, but we have some for everyone as well.
Sure.
Let's start out with an everyone question. Elliot, do you want to start it?
Yeah, The Era asks, what is all of your go-to cringe memory that keeps creeping on you?
Okay, so yeah, we're going to start off with our guest here. If you have a cringy moment that happened in your life that keeps fucking with you.
All right, so actually pretty recently as well. The most cringe moment I can think of was I was live streaming about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, in front of 15,000 people. And at one point we took a little break. I was doing it with my main recording buddy, Bayesian Canadian, and I was like, let's start doing some skateboard tricks. Hop on the skateboard, and I used to be able to do a handstand on it. And I still can to an extent. I used to skateboard a lot more.
How did the camera pick all of this up? Did you like...
Oh, we just zoomed it out. It was like a webcam on a computer.
Okay.
So we just zoomed it out, and it was just in his basement. So I go to the handstand and just it's like something like, you know, like kids have nightmares of ripping their pants in front of kids in class. Ripped it in front of 15,000 people. I literally stand there, and it wasn't just a rip, it was right at the crotch seam.
Could you hear the laughter coming from across the internet?
It was bad.
I don't think I've ever embarrassed myself in front of 15,000 people at once.
What about you? That's a benchmark I have yet to.
What's an embarrassing, like, cringy moment? I think we've kind of covered this a little bit. Maybe we can say something different.
One that there's a lot. Yeah. The one that pops into my head right now is actually from this. It's recent. It's from this past summer. I was in France with my family, and I was out drinking with my brother, and then like I was at a bar, like getting along with a bunch of people from different countries. It felt like a very international moment, but I was a little bit drunk, and like I get up to go order another drink, and like turn around, and right there, walking up behind me, is a waiter holding like 30 beers, and just like everything goes flying everywhere. I'm just like, fuck. Immediately, I'm the evil American all over
just
again.
Instantly.
There's no recovery from that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of that. I think of a couple that where I was in Europe and made myself look like an American asshole. That just naturally happens because we are, in fact, American assholes.
I actually wanted to chime in there. I have a funny story. You're talking about XRP X13 earlier. I went to Oktoberfest in Munich with him, and I was thinking of an American asshole story that has to do with something cringeworthy. And I was just one time I turned to Ryan because everyone was being really rude at one point. I just whispered to him like, "Yo, Ryan, why is everyone being jerks around here?" He goes, "You know why, Jerome?" He picks up his voice. I'm like, "No, Ryan, don't do this." Because we're back-to-back World War champions.
Oh my God!
A bunch of drunk Germans in Munich on Oktoberfest, and I was like, "Ryan, we're gonna die."
You know, they speak a lot of English.
Asshole and just a terrible joke to make they are not happy about their past.
No, yeah, it was definitely
very nice. They're very nice people. I've been there plenty of times. It's great. I think like I can't think of any specific right now, but I know there's been so many times in my life where I've been like audibly saying bad stuff about someone who just magically appears right behind me, and you're just like,
there's nothing you do.
But it's helped me. All these are learning experiences that help you grow as an adult because you realize that you should just keep your mouth shut most of the time.
Yeah.
And that usually works out for the best.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah. So I can't think of anything specific. We've covered like really embarrassing shit on here already. So
all the dirty laundry.
The gold is already out. All right, let's move on. You can read the next one.
Sure, from Black Nerd.
Very nice.
How did you each make your way into the industry / YouTube scene?
I think we've touched on it a little bit before. I mean, as far as machinima goes, I got hired here to do something completely different, and then kind of fell into it. But before that, I was doing YouTube stuff, and I was doing a bunch of parody videos and shit. And that's how I got into it. Just a place to like upload comedy videos. And then that channel got shut down for copyright because I couldn't do anything. It was really weird.
You needed an MCN.
Yeah, exactly.
To cover you.
Yeah. I could make funny things out of shit that someone else already made and make it funnier, but it wasn't like me on camera being like, "Whoa!" So that got shut down. And luckily, I, accidentally fell into this. So
yeah, I came from like a pretty traditional sort of film background, film school. Wanted to do something in that world, but kind of hated the whole like production life and the amount of work. I'm just a lazy person by nature.
So YouTube is just the obvious go-to for being lazy in production.
I kind of just like fell into machinima. It was just like I needed work. My friend called me up, did a job, and then got more and more jobs. And
if you want to see some great stuff, I forget what my actual channel. I think it's Ricky Machinima because I made it for this job. They have like I did the Skrillex goat video.
All right.
That did pretty well. And then the Star Wars fucker right in the pussy.
Yeah. Such classics.
Yeah. The previous one, one of the biggest previous ones that I did was on the channel that got shut down was I did The Big Bang Theory without laughter.
Yeah.
So I took the segment of The Big Bang Theory show and just took all of the audience canned laughter out of it, and it was just the most awkward scene ever. And that was like the first time that I ever did anything that went
that got a lot of views.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. But you've made a career out of YouTube.
Will be
so
much more interesting.
much more interesting.
No, I mean it's really not. I mean, in 8th grade, I just kind of thought it'd be fun to start making videos. So I grabbed a bunch of real life friends of mine, made an old channel. So before Awesome Sauce Films even, and we started filming, and they were awful, pitiful videos, actually cringeworthy. And they still exist on the internet.
Oh, good.
Source videos. You want to check it out? They're cringeworthy. And so all my friends decided they wanted to stop doing it. I wanted to keep making videos, and I was like, well, what can I film alone, edit alone, do everything alone? I was a real loner. I was real cool. So what can I do? Everything alone that I love to do. And I was like, well, I love video games, and that's something I can. I could.
That's what I used to do. We didn't have YouTube back then, so there was no. I had no place to put all of my energy except for.
As a certain YouTuber remain unnamed, we saw Chatterbait kind of his downfall. So.
Whoa! I didn't know about that.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you guys about that after.
No, I'm
gonna fire shots at someone. There was a YouTuber.
He was firing shots. Now it's time for you.
He ended up getting embarrassed off of YouTube because someone found his old Chatterbait account. So.
Wow.
There was that. Yeah.
Don't ever jack off on camera and expect to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's a good lesson. I think that's a good lesson.
We should teach our kids not to jack off on camera.
Exactly. Yeah. So continue now that we've hit that.
So now we've hit that point. But yeah, no, and so I just fell into recording videos and video games, and then it just kind of all happened together. And I was starting to get a little bored of it because you can only record so much by yourself before it gets boring. And then I hit up my old friend of mine. I hadn't been in contact with him for years at this point. It was Mitch, Bayesian Canadian. Now he's bigger than I am. He has 4 million subscribers. And at the time, he was like, "No, it sounds like a dumb idea." But after a week of convincing, I got him to agree to record video games with me. And
this was before he had 4 million. Obviously.
This is when he had 0.
Yeah. Actually, that'll lead into one that we had specifically for you from a fan. That was, how and when did you and Mitch meet? And then my question is that I saw online while looking stuff up. What the fuck is a marome?
Okay.
What is a marome? And then obviously the how did you and Mitch meet question.
All right. So marome is basically. People like to ship me and Mitch together, kind of like pretend we're in a relationship. Meanwhile, we're both straight. We both have girlfriends at the time, but everyone ignores that, and they just put us together as a gay couple, which is fine. I love Mitch. He's my boy.
I'm sure there's a lot of great marome fan fiction out there.
Oh yeah, there's a hefty amount out there.
Great.
Yeah, it's very disturbing.
We should have downloaded some. Reading of it.
It's so bad. It's so cringe.
I'm gonna look that up while.
Oh God, no.
I'm gonna go get my phone and look that up while you answer this question.
Yeah, but how did I meet Mitch? He actually used to live in my hometown from 4th to 6th grade.
And where is your hometown? Exactly?
Yeah, exactly. Start off with that.
Yeah, okay. So I live in a small town called Basking Ridge, New Jersey. It's Somerset County.
Okay.
I've lived there.
I have a friend from Basking Ridge.
Get out of here. Small, really?
Yeah.
No way.
I've never visited, but he's from there.
No way. It's a small town. No one's even heard of it.
Yeah, it's near Hoboken-ish.
45 minutes away.
Okay, yeah. I know he's from Basking Ridge, and he says it's very boring.
Yeah,
but that's all I know.
Wow, no, that's spot on. All right, well, yeah, apparently he's the only other person who's ever heard of my hometown. But yeah, small town. Mitch moved there from 4th to 6th grade. He moved around a lot. And after that, he moved away. I actually didn't much like him at the time. He was a real jerk. One of the first things he did was I had a skateboard ramp that me and my friends built ourselves, and he decided to pogo stick up it, and he went straight through the ramp with a pogo stick. So that took us like a month to make.
You don't pogo on a half pipe. Come on.
Yeah, we were very mad. So I didn't exactly like him, but after a while, he hit me up on RuneScape, and then I was like, all right, hey Mitch, it's been 2 years, what's up, man? We started playing Xbox together, and then I was like, why don't you join me on this YouTube channel? I know it's crazy, we barely even know each other anymore, but whatever, and now we're like best friends. I just got back from Quebec with him, Cancun, all in the past month.
All right, I'm gonna read an excerpt. This is one Google search.
Oh no!
One Google search. The first link that I found.
Cursory search.
So let me start on here. Okay. Jerome pulled down Mitch's pants, letting his member free from its constraints. No. It was rather large, very white, with a slightly pink tip. But to Jerome, it looked like it came from heaven itself. This is like some of the most creative writing.
How long does this go?
Oh, this is pages. I scrolled to the bottom, right to the money shot.
There are some that are 50 chapters long.
Oh my God.
Well, Husky was licking random parts of Mitch's upper body. Mitch moved his arm into Husky's trousers, hand feeling around for its prize. This is this is someone who's like actually good at writing, doing this.
Yeah. Well, erotic writing is a very specific skill.
Yeah. Husky kicked off his trousers and then his underwear, leaving his blue-skinned member out in the open, near enough the same as Mitch's.
Blue-skinned member?
I don't know. Is there something going on with?
Well, his Minecraft skin is of a mudkip.
There we go. Okay, great. Mitch wrapped his hand around Husky's meat. Hold on, let me go. We need to get to
the real juice here.
Wow.
Let's see.
So
he began thrusting into Hungry Baka's mouth, pre-cum dripping from his penis. Jerome, it feels so good, Mitch moaned, trying to form the words. Jerome, hearing the words of his lover, bobbed up and down even faster, now trying to get the boy to... Okay, I'm gonna stop. I think we've read far enough into the... That is just one example. That's a cursory search, skimming through and finding. It must be a real honor to have erotic fan fiction being written about you.
Honor is a great word.
Term for it, yeah.
Really, yeah. It's quite the honor.
You know that you've done something with your life when there's erotic gay fan fiction written about you and your butts.
So if you're watching this now, you know, me and Elliot
don't. I swear to God.
All right, I'll move on to
Reliot.
What L Backy asks, what's the strangest or craziest thing that ever happened in school? I'm gonna like tie this down to strictly high school because I went to college for like a year. It doesn't count. You went to college. Did you go to college?
1 year.
Okay, yeah. Tie. We're good.
There we go. Yeah.
So let's tie it down to high school. Go ahead.
I think the weirdest thing that ever happened in high school, I'd have to say, is it was one time where someone called me into the bathroom, like, Jerome, check this out. I was in the gym locker room. I was like, okay, what the hell could this be about? Someone took someone else's sneaker that they left outside of their gym locker, shoved it in the toilet, but that wasn't enough. They then proceeded to take a crap on top of the shoe, and then that wasn't enough, and as if it was the Eiffel Tower, someone stuck a pencil in the crap on top of the shoe in the toilet, and I was like, someone's day is ruined. Someone's gonna look for their shoe and just find that.
Has anyone seen the South Park episode where the poor janitor has to clean up?
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, I felt so bad for the janitor and the kid whose shoes it was.
Kids never think of the consequences that don't affect them directly. Some poor janitor out there had to go and clean up an Eiffel Tower made of shit.
Yeah, I mean, it was like you said it was strangest or craziest. I think it was the strangest. It was like an Eiffel Tower of poo, pencils, and shoe. I mean, I don't really.
Can you remember back through the fog of life, back to your high school days, of anything that happened?
I mean, no, not really. Like,
take some time.
I wasn't really like a risk taker in high school.
But you didn't witness anything crazy?
I don't know, probably, but like,
my school was scandalous.
Oh, okay.
It was crazy.
Nothing's.
No scandalous.
I got nothing for you right now.
I mean, there was like sex stuff, crazy stuff. All the time, fights. A girl like hit this kid in the head with a brick. Someone brought a gun to school. It went off in a classroom. It was crazy. I think the funniest thing that we're not going to get serious. I don't want to say it because I don't want people to like research my like high school picture or something. So I'll move to funniest so it's not depressing. But so the funniest thing is there was this is depressing too. There was this like kid that would just do anything for money. Like he was like
a whore.
He was a whore. He was like a class clown, but like it was like, yeah, give me like, we paid him once $5 to do a front flip off of like a table and the thing. He fell on his back and started crying. It was really funny. This one kid brought in. He went to a farmer's market and bought like the world's hottest hot sauce, and we did a shot, and we paid him $5 to do a shot of it. And he started puking all over the ground in the middle of the cafeteria, just like vomiting. And we gave him the $5, and he used all $5 to go to the store thing and buy milk so they could cool his mouth down. And all that did was he started vomiting the milk up back on top of everything. It was all over himself. To top that all off, he got in trouble for doing it, and the principal made him clean up his own vomit. So it was a total loss for him, but the culmination of all of this was he was a bit heavier, and my friend Sam bet him, he goes, I'll bet you $10 you can't run in place for 15 minutes. And he was like, I'll do it. So we're at lunch, and he's running in place, like the whole, like half the lunch break, he's running in place. He's like sweating profusely. It's like really starting to affect him. He gets to about 13 minutes, 14 minutes. My friend Sam goes over to this other kid and he goes, I'll give you $5 to trip him so he can't make it to 15 minutes. And he fucking tripped and fell on the ground, and that was it. So yes, very depressing, very mean. Everyone's mean in high school. You can't like say
that's some crazy.
Some are meaner than others, I
was going to say, yeah.
I'm definitely holding back about other shit, but he was doing it to himself.
Okay, so like, the only thing I can really think of, and I was reminded of it with that news story we did today about the party in Orange County that got blown up on social media.
Some dad threw his daughter his teenage daughter a Playboy themed party, and like 200 people crashed it and made it this huge bash, and then the dad got arrested because people were drinking there. But it was like his daughter was in like Playboy outfit and stuff. So it was very weird.
There was this Spanish teacher when I was in high school. I had him for Spanish 1. He did the like annual trip to Spain for the Spanish program. And this is like pre-social media, pre-all that shit. The whole trip was like an excuse for like him to just get like fucked up and like bang some strange over in Europe. And then like, no. He would find like fat women over in Europe and like hook up with them. and just like let the students run wild and just like don't get arrested and you're fine. So I go on this trip. I have like fucking time of my life. It's like I think I just turned like 18 or something.
The kids had to have been fucking as well.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like it was awesome. I loved it. It was like a tradition going back like 10 years or so. And then fucking MySpace came out, and that shit was shut down immediately because all these dumb fucking kids started putting pictures of it on the internet. The guy lost his job. He might have even gotten deported. I don't know.
Back to Europe with all the lovely fat women that
he was from Argentina or somewhere in South America.
All right, let's move on here. Okay, this is a pretty good one. Do you think YouTube will ever die? Do you think like like how MySpace, for example, died?
Ever?
And it would.
I mean, ever
is a load of things.
Yeah.
But what do you think? I guess the question really would be when and what will take its place? What kind of platform?
I mean, I don't know if the concept of YouTube will ever die. Like, video on demand platforms seem to be the way to go.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, so I think YouTube, who knows, maybe a competitor will eventually come out, maybe not. I think the concept of YouTube won't. I think that's definitely the future for at least the near future. So I don't know about YouTube, but I think the whole system
there will be some other video on demand if YouTube for some reason goes down.
I think it's the way to go.
I think like especially recently with how Twitch has just blown up. It's not really on demand, although it does have those capabilities. People seem to be gravitating towards a more live scheduled, like I know a lot of my friends that do gaming channels that are primarily on Twitch now and use their channels.
For gaming, the experience is different because you're like in a community and you're watching it unfold as it happens. There's an excitement to that.
The thing with Twitch that I think is a lot better than YouTube is the actual chat versus comment section, because the comment section is, a lot of people do go back to like reply to comments and stuff like that, but the chat is a living, breathing thing that can either be absolutely terrible or fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, it can actually add to it a lot. Like I get comments all the time, and it's funny because you can realize that they're used to watching live streams because they'll comment in the present tense on things. They'll be like, "Why don't you do this?" Because the video was filmed a week ago. Like, well,
leaving like
what
10
do you mean?
comments back to back. We've gotten a few of those.
Do you have any emotes? Like, do you stream on Twitch?
Like once a month. I'm horrible, but I do have some emotes.
Okay, good.
Nothing too crazy, but they're just things that represent my channel.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, so I mean, will YouTube be dethroned?
Who knows?
Probably at some point, but I think Google's got it pretty locked down.
They've got everything pretty
for
much
the time
locked down.
being.
Yeah, they seem to at least see a couple years in advance, and it's a matter of them always being on top of it and improving.
I'm interested to see how Twitch takes on entertainment because they've been slowly kind of like leaning into that. They've been doing like DJ stuff and events, so maybe there's a future on that end.
It's a great platform.
It is
it shouldn't just be confined to gaming.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it seems like YouTube is kind of like this monster that won't die. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I can't see it happening, but even if it does, I mean, I think something similar to YouTube will exist.
All right, let's go to a Jerome specific question here.
Oh God.
This is from A Spark. How hard is it to come up with new content when you play Minecraft, and how is it that there are so many other YouTubers that are successful doing similar things, which I guess would also lead into through all the transitions you've made through games like COD and Flash games, how do you maintain the grind, and how are you able to pump out so many videos a week? And as far as planning goes, how far do you plan ahead? Basically, like, what's your your own personal programming schedule, and how do you choose the games you play, and what turns into something or what gets canned?
So pretty much usually beforehand, it's not that difficult to come up with new ideas or even just revisiting old ones in a new way when you have like a team of people behind you doing it. So usually I sometimes record with just Mitch, and sometimes an extra mind to bounce off of makes it a lot easier to come up with new content. But recently I've been filming with a team of 6 of us. So when it comes to 6 people, you can come up with endless things. You sit 6 people in a room, they could just pump out video ideas all day, all day. So it just comes down to which
What's
ones
that crew called? Isn't there a name for it?
We're just called the Pack now. I had another team, Team Crafted way back. Yeah, it disbanded I think in March, April, somewhere around there. But yeah, the new team, the Pack, we just think of ideas and then we'll just decide which ones sound like the best, the things that the viewers would like and that we would enjoy the most, because sometimes there's some things in Minecraft we just don't like to do, so we stray away from that.
And do you think, like going back to the YouTube thing, do you think there's a ceiling on Minecraft? How far do you think it can go, really?
That much?
Because it's been around for 4 years, basically, in a huge capacity online.
That much? That's why, like, I would normally, if I had to guess, when people would ask me this, I would say it had another, like, year or so left, but then Microsoft bought it, and I have no clue what their intention is.
I remember, like last year or 2 years ago saying that, I think every year I've said, yeah, Minecraft has about a year left on it. And it happens every year, so.
It doesn't seem to end, and that's the thing, too, is I thought, I'm like, well, there are some games like StarCraft and World of Warcraft that just seem to be timeless.
Yeah, exactly. Warcraft just came out with a new expansion. I don't know, does Minecraft have, like, expansions or any kind of new content that's added to it?
It doesn't. It adds new. They do like major updates about once every, I would say, half year. They do like 1.8. It's on. It'll be 1.9 another half year probably. The thing is though, like I said, like Microsoft, it brings a little hope to us that maybe they'll do like a Minecraft 2 or something to keep it going. I'd love it if it stayed forever. I love the game.
Okay, cool. Any like future plans for games that you want to play on your channel?
I actually do want to switch up, and I will soon enough do like one every couple days, just not Minecraft. Something like either like a horror game based or something more reactionary. I like those kind of things.
Yeah.
Baldergard asks, what is the meanest thing anyone has said to you personally over YouTube comments? Ugh.
Yeah, we kind of like touched on this in our show last week, but is there anything that sticks out?
There was someone who wished that myself and my entire family would get Ebola.
Oh yeah,
so, I mean, that was pretty.
I think we're told on a daily basis that we should get cancer and die. So
so they're all around the same.
Anytime you give anyone the pedestal of like. Here, say whatever you want, and by the way, it's anonymous.
Yes, it's a.
Or it'll come from like Pikachu. It would like have like a Pikachu icon and say, like it'll be Pikachu being like, I hope your whole family gets cancer and dies.
Like
wow.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I'm more offended when they like misunderstand something I say and then go off on some crazy rant about it because like
or put words in your mouth. That's
they're like, whoa, you really think I'm like actually a bad person because of something you just don't understand? Like that's what bothers me more. I'm like, no.
Yeah, exactly. I can agree with that. The ones that like affect me, like that's the meanest. But the ones that affect me the most, the ones where like they'll like nitpick at something I said. Maybe I slipped up and said something a little off, and they'll just go at me and go at me and go at me. And they'll be like, you're such an idiot. You know,
it's like constantly being very mean. It's like the old media, like it's crazy what's happened in the evolution of media, but it's like 30 years ago, it's like you go on like even if you're on like a late night show as a guest or something like that, you're never gonna hear from people that like you sucked. Like if it was a comedian that went up and or something like that, and you it's like. You're not gonna hear that you should kill yourself because you had a bad set.
Though. Yeah. Like one time I was playing like a random game of Minecraft. Mind you, I do 3 videos a day on an average day. Like it should not affect anyone this much. And like one time, I had a slightly better piece of the worst armor, a boot. It was a boot. I still remember to this day because it affected me so much. And it was just like slightly better armor. And someone just railed me like, "You're such an idiot!" But I'm like, "How could you forget that? You're honestly the dumbest person I've ever met." I was like, "Whoa, calm down! It was a boot. It was just a virtual boot that doesn't even exist in the real world. Like, this shouldn't affect you so much. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's just in general, it's just overreacting to things.
Yeah, right. It's just those people that overreact, but you know that they're not kidding. Like the ones that go like, "You hope your whole family gets Ebola." You hope to God they're not serious. But there are some that are like, "You honestly suck. You should quit YouTube. How could you forget to put those boots on?" You're like,
like they're
"Oh my God!" Like, whoa, kid.
They're either serious and just crazy, or they're being trolls and just being dicks.
Yeah, they're just trying to. No that's reason. The whole thing is they're trying to get a reaction out
and
of
like
you.
Both things, I'm just like,
and we just confirmed that we.
Exactly, and they won. They just won today.
Let's see.
Okay, so we got Guarded Puddle, who says, "What is the most dangerous thing you've ever done?" So for me, at least, it's more funny. Me and my friends, what we used to do is the old razor scooters, and we would not recommend doing this to anyone. But what we used to do is we'd find the steepest hill that we had near us. It was just like a little cul-de-sac. We go to the very top. We'd have one guy at the bottom, make sure no cars come whizzing by and kill us. And we would take them, and as fast as we could, ride them straight down the hill into the curb at the bottom of the street, and we'd try and do front flips over the handlebars.
What do you land on?
Your back. And one of our friends almost broke his arm. I think that was the last time we did it, but it was fun. I mean, it was great. It was great fun, but it was definitely the most dangerous thing it was stupid.
I guess I kind of do remember doing like dumb shit like that. It was mostly involving like shopping carts. It's like, just push me down a hill and
like upgraded to razor scooters from shopping carts, I think.
Yeah. I mean, because the razor scooter, you'd be able to launch over the handlebar. So when you hit it, I still remember, you could push down. There was a momentum. So as soon as you collided, you'd push down on the handlebar, and your body would just get sent
onto concrete or asphalt?
I mean, you'd land land in the grass of whoever's front yard it was, and hope you didn't break your arm, and then sue them. So you know, you just you get there. I feel bad for that people because they probably look out their window all day like, here's those kids again.
They're gonna break their arm on my property.
This is what passes for entertainment these days, apparently.
Did you ever film yourself doing stuff like that? Are those videos?
I have a lost video, not of that, but of me on a lawn chair, and we duct taped it to 2 skateboards, and I rode it down the hill and then crashed and did that. That was fun. That was really fun.
That should be your next real life video. That'd be great. Make it a Throwback Thursday video or something like that.
Because that was okay. So yeah, it was like the late '90s when Jackass
and CKY.
And all of that was happening, and yeah, I just remember.
Oh, I was jumping into bushes all the time, like mimicking that stuff. But like I think for me, the seemingly lawless country of Iceland was where I probably did the most dangerous stuff, because there's just no one when you go into the middle of the country. There's no one to arrest you for doing anything wrong. There's no one to save you if you fuck yourself up. There's no one to tell you what not to do. So we would like hike up to the top of these cliffs and just roll rocks off to watch them bounce. We would go hiking under waterfalls. We went hot tubbing, which is what we called it, I guess, in inactive geysers. Like fucked up stupid shit that where like, if you got stranded there or hurt, you're just completely screwed. I remember we had this like truck that could. This is the first. It sounds like I lived some luxurious life. This is the first vacation I ever took as an adult. I saved up for an entire year to do it because we had this truck that like could go through rivers. Like it was like a very shallow river, but it had the exhaust up top, so it wouldn't. So we went over this thing. The way back, it was pouring down rain. The river had grown by like double, triple what it was when we went on the way there. And it's the only way out, or we'd be stuck in the middle of this country, in the middle of nowhere. And we're going through it, and we start to feel the truck losing the grip on the bottom of the river. And it's probably going to a waterfall somewhere. No. And the water is like up to the middle of the door. Luckily, we made it across. Scariest moment of my entire life.
Yeah, that's pretty terrifying. Yeah. I don't have anything like that extreme. There was one time my entire like car just like shut down, like engine, electricity, everything, while I was driving down from like Big Bear.
Oh yeah, that's terrifying.
Which is like, it's already kind of a scary drive because people are assholes and they drive too fast.
For people who don't know, Big Bear is like it's the closest thing you can get to like actual real ski resorts here in Southern California.
Yeah, it's the local
the whole trip up there is literally back and forth, like you're gaining 1,000 feet every couple of minutes. So anything off the road is a straight drop.
Yeah, so my car just like, it was like, just everything stopped. I didn't have power steering anymore, didn't have power brakes. I'm going like 40 miles an hour down a windy hill with a car full of people, and I'm just like, somehow like in my brain, like right away I was like, well, you can't, don't let everyone in the car know how freaked out you are. So just like silently just like pull the handbrake and like lean my body in the steering wheel and just like, all right, we need to pull off to the side of the road. Managed to get like a mile farther down the road, just like coasting.
I feel like that was your first dad moment. Where
it was like,
you wanted to protect the sanity of the people in the car with you, so you just calmly like, it's like you didn't want to scare your children.
Yeah.
But you did the dad thing, right? After you pulled over, then you overreacted and got really angry.
Right, yeah. After it was over, I was like, holy shit, like I could have just flown off the edge of a mountain.
Unnecessarily angry at everyone else.
Yeah, and then it took 4 hours for AAA to figure out where the fuck I was. It was like, where's your nearest cross street? Like,
there's no cross.
I'm on a mountain road.
So I guess so. This is gonna be, I think, our last one, and then we'll do a little bit of an outro here, and then so the last one we're gonna talk about is from Insane Twig. Jerome, what was your favorite experience filming the AFK series? And then it'll shoot over to me and Elliot. Who would you want to go head to head to on AFK? How was the whole experience? And
I mean, it was great. We got to go to a lot of cool places. Like I think it was Boston, Austin, Texas, and just in Southern California, a small town. I think it's called. I want to say. Is Indio?
That's like where Coachella is, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm not familiar with that part of California, but yeah. So we went down there, and I think the best one was definitely the first one we did was a demolition derby, and that was my favorite thing ever, probably from the entire series. I mean, just getting to actively get into like a demolition derby car, actually smash into other cars, destroy them. Like it's every kid's dream. I got to
it's every adult's dream.
It's everyone's dream.
I got to crush cars. I was like, heck yeah! It was good. It was like real life bumper cars.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah, and then for us, who do we want to go head to head? I would say Mitch and Jerome. We'd have a great foursome.
Oh,
yeah, a great foursome.
Yeah,
and I think it's like
don't make fan fiction of that phrase that he just said.
No, it'd be great. We're all gonna slam into each other. All right, well, dude, thanks so much for joining us. This was a blast. Like, I mean, obviously we'll put links and stuff like that, but let everyone know your Twitter and your YouTube link and all that stuff. Yeah, YouTube, JeromeASF, Twitter, JeromeASF, Facebook, JeromeASF. Oh, it's pretty easy. Streamlined. Instagram, JeromeASF. We'll leave on this. Only different one. Jerome, as if granting Mitch's request, removed his fingers from Mitch's entrance, pulling down his trousers to reveal his own monstrous member, pulsating happily at the thought of being inside Mitch. Have a good night, everyone.